Thank you, Gavin, for those wonderfully kind words, and what an incredible privilege we have to be learning from Javi and Olga here today. How was that teaching from Javi? Just simplifying it all for us. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. And speaking from the heart, Olga, you had us all in tears. The tissue box was being passed around. You might not have known that. But when I heard that Javi and Olga were coming out to South Africa, and I heard that the one thing they really wanted to see was a lion catching a zebra, I thought to myself, this reminds me of a very close encounter that we'd had some years ago. And I went into the family photo album and I dug out a photograph, which I'm going to share with you guys. And this was a close encounter. Thankfully, we lived to tell the tale. But to Javi and Olga, I would like to say enjoy your travels in South Africa. But if you are riding any zebras, make sure that someone's got your back, on the back of the zebra. That's me with the baton, smacking him on the nose. You know, when I joined LifeWave on the 15th of January this year, I could never have imagined what the year was going to hold. It has been an extraordinary journey. I never thought I would travel to 5 countries in 5 weeks, but that's what my team did to me. It was wonderful. Every minute of it has been a joy journey. I never imagined meeting the most incredible people on this journey and going to parts of South Africa that I've never been to before. It's been absolutely extraordinary. And I want everyone to know that I felt completely ill-equipped. I felt unprepared, overwhelmed. I didn't know where to start, but I decided to just jump in and start sharing this incredible technology. And what overwhelmed me most was the flood of support from this team in this room today. The encouragement, the wonderful phone calls, the messages, the personal phone calls that were made to me just to say, I see what you're doing. Wow, just go for it. You're doing so well. And just, it meant the world to me. And that is our LifeWave pride. That is a lion pride that is powerful because nobody hunts on their own, right? What I found is that this is a team of formidable business builders. This is a team of people that are hungry for success and a team of people that are willing to do the work that's required for that success. So we've all got a bold dream, right? In our minds, we all have that bold dream that glows faintly and quite fiercely in the back of our minds. It's something that might be building a business. It might be going on an adventure. It might be writing a book. It might even just be being the best version of ourselves that we can be. But that dream, that desire, is our lion. And the reason for that is because it's majestic. It's powerful in our minds. It's the one thing that actually awakens our greatest passion. But why it's our lion is because it also awakens our greatest fear. That fear is thrilling. And if we're being honest, it actually terrifies us. It terrifies us because it's just like staring into the eyes of a formidable predator. And it seems impossible to approach that place. Achieving the dream feels daunting because it actually demands something of us, something profound. It demands change. Now, change, to meet our lion, we actually have to go beyond who we are today. We have to grow. We have to free ourselves from the clutches of complacency, comfort, and even convenience. You will laugh when I tell you that I've never ridden on the back of a motorbike But I've had to drive to a meeting on the back of a motorbike. Wasn't comfortable or convenient, but it pushes you out of that space. And the fact that we're all here today is a show of one of the biggest C's. We are growing beyond comfort. We're growing beyond convenience. We're growing beyond complacency. But we are here because of commitment. Commitment is the most important C of all. It's committing to doing what this goal asks of us. And I want to talk about the roar of fear, because it actually is a roar. When faced with our lions, we actually often hear the roar of fear and judgment. What if I fail at this? I'm not ready yet. I still need to study the toolbox. I still need to know what all the different patches are. What about people judging me? What about this being too big for me? I just don't think I can manage it. What about not being worthy of this? Now, the inspiring speakers today have forced us to think about all of these little objections that creep into our minds, because the fears are completely natural. The fears are actually simply our mind's protective mechanism telling us that we're about to step out of our comfort zone. We're about to enter into a realm where we're going to have to let go of convenience and let go of comfort, confront our complacency, and face our lion. Fear does not mean stop. So it means that we're about to step into the realm of growth. Growth is where the magic actually happens. And if your lion scares you, that's a good thing, because it means that this goal matters to you. It's proof that your desire is actually tied to something that is meaningful to you, something worth fighting for, right? Javi spoke about it now. Your family, your children, your spouse, something worth going after. And so when you feel the fear, and that roar of fear can be it can shock you into a space of inaction. When you feel that fear, don't back away. Don't turn around and run. Just lean into it, feel it, and do it anyway. Because there is a road to be traveled on the path of growth. And meeting our lion requires transformation, right? We are unlikely to actually meet our lion in the place that we are right now. There's a process of growth because lions roam in wild, untamed places. They happen to be found in places where a little bit of bravery, a little bit of resilience, and even a lot of persistence is required. These are essential elements on the path to finding our lion. So as we get moving on the road, let's keep these 4 key points in mind. Fear is our companion, not our enemy. Instead of running away from fear, let's turn and face it. Because 9 times out of 10, the worst case scenario isn't half as catastrophic as we think. We don't have to be ready or perfect. This is a big one, so I'm going to say it twice. We do not have to be ready or perfect. We just have to be willing. Willing to simply adapt, to try, to fall, to fail, to get up again, and to try again. And that's the journey that all of us have been on. Because growth is messy, and that's okay. It's really, really hard when it's not perfect, but it's absolutely fine because it's progress rather than perfection, right? And action is actually the antidote to fear. So action is the very thing that prevents the fear. Fear thrives on inaction. In fact, the longer we stand still, the louder the fear actually roars. So just take that first step. Write that first sentence. Pick up the phone. Make that call. Contact that person that you've been thinking about contacting for so long. Talk to the person next to them and open with a beautiful compliment, like we've been recommended to do here today. Because momentum is our greatest ally. And one step inevitably leads to another. Now, persistence is the key. And a lion is wild. So it's going to elude us for a little while. And while we are testing our patience and our resolve, that lion is being impressed by our courage, because every step that we take, every little step that we move a bit closer towards it, every setback that we overcome, we are building our courage and cementing our purpose and earning the respect of our lion. But here's the twist. While we think we're searching for something that's outside of ourselves, we actually need to remember that the real lion is inside us. It's inside us. And our deepest dreams and our desires are not random. They are a reflection of who we are destined to become. And that makes me emotional, because the journey towards meeting your lion is ultimately the journey towards meeting yourself. And so let's take up the challenge and let's answer the call to find our lion. It's okay if that path is a little uncertain and even a little bit messy. Let's just take the first step and growth will follow. Let's feel the fear, but also the pull of our desire, and courage will follow. It's going to demand our persistence, but the reward will be worth it in the end. Because one day, when we meet our lion, when we finally achieve that dream and conquer that fear that has me even trembling a little bit standing in front of talking to so many people, we actually become the person that we are destined to be. And we will realize something extraordinary. And that is that the roar that once terrified us so much has actually become our own. So thank you.